I don't think we have an audio for Let the Children Speak, so I don't think we have one anymore.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So this is Let the Children Speak. Peace, peace. Tonight on Let the Children Speak, we're talking about the act of healing. We often hear adults talk about healing. We talk about, or we talk about getting through difficult experiences, learning from what happened, forgiving, growing, and moving forward. Yet children experience hurt too. They experience disappointment, anger, sadness, fear, confusion, changes in friendships, problems at home, pressure at school, and situations they may not always know how to explain. So, what does healing look like to them? Do young people often know when they're healing? And do we as adults sometimes try to decide what they need instead of asking them? Tonight isn't about adults giving young people all the answers. It's about giving them the opportunity to give us some of their answers. This is Let the Children Speak, and we're the ears that will listen, and where your opinion matters. Moon Tortoise, can you read the deeper meaning?
Why, of course. Wow, I haven't been at this in a while. It's great to be back. Welcome, everybody. The deeper meaning tonight is when we hear the word healing, we usually think something had to be hurt first. If you scrape your knee, you can see the wound. You can watch it change as your body repairs itself. Emotional wounds aren't always visible. Sometimes someone can smile, they can laugh, they can go to school and play games. They can spend time with their friends and appear completely fine when carrying something nobody else can see. That's why healing can be difficult to understand. It doesn't always mean forgetting. It doesn't always mean everything suddenly feels better either. Sometimes healing is when finally talking about something. Sometimes it's understanding why you feel the way you do. Sometimes it's learning from asking for help, and it doesn't make you weak to do that. And sometimes healing begins because someone gave you a safe place to speak. Tonight, instead of deciding what healing means for our young people, let's go ahead and ask them. Let's have a great conversation.
So let's get into our first question. Grandson, when you hear the word healing, and what does healing mean to you?
Healing to me means growing from a past trauma or a past experience that wasn't necessarily the best. As if something happened to you at home, at school, or if something is happening, the act of healing is more of forgiving yourself in case you know, because during that time you may, I think you did that. It's more forgiving and then growing from that.
I appreciate the fact that you said forgiving then growing, because a lot of people, even adults, don't realize that forgiveness is the number one key to be able to heal. And they hold on to that from their pride, their ego, or whatever the circumstances may be. They don't release that, and they don't forgive themselves, let alone somebody outside of themselves. What do you think, Moon Tortoise?
Repeat the actual question like it's Jeopardy or something, just so I
No,
can answer it code.
I was talking about what he said about forgiving himself.
Well, I think forgiving. I think it's really important because I think healing, no matter if it's physical, like from a scar, or an emotional wound, it begins upstairs. I noticed I heal a lot slower when I'm really upset about how hurt I got. So I think that forgiveness is very important. And forgiveness is often a touchy subject with people because the nature of what it is. You've been wronged. So it shows a lot of character to be strong in spirit enough to take that head on.
So, how do you know when something is really bothering you, even when you don't talk about it, grandson?
Could you repeat that, please?
How do you know when something is really bothering you, even when you don't talk about it?
Uh, when something's bothering me, I'll mostly notice it because a lot of the people I know, including me, I just kind of silence up to think about it because it sometimes it's not necessarily instantly noticeable that it's bothering me, but if I do notice it, then I'll just go quiet, trying to think of how to uh, escape the situation.
So, simpatico Sunjoy said, "Hi, my love," and she said this to you. She's like, "You are so smart, Marley."
Thank you.
And it is,
Thank you.
I'm glad you chose this topic because this topic is not something I chose. This was given to us by you, and I know a lot of people that shut down when there's something's bothered them instead of expressing it. Do you find that case to be true for you, grandson?
Yes.
How does that
Yes.
feel inside when that happens?
In my opinion, I
Yeah.
honestly don't know. It's just a reaction that happens out of response. I don't know.
I think it's good. You're not obligated to react to everything, and it's actually within your interest to not react within the first second of hearing something, especially if it puts you into high emotional gear like that. I've found that's been really helpful, and just getting along with people in general. There's power in the pause, right?
Definitely is power in the pause. And I was just wondering if it came from a fact of that you were hurt. Do you shut down because you're hurt? Do you shut down because you don't feel like you have a proper response yet and you still want to regulate it?
I mostly shut down whenever something like really overwhelming appears because it makes me overthink, and
Okay.
because it does that, it sends me into like a frenzy of trying to figure out what happened and how to fix it.
Okay. I love that. I love that you're able to articulate that because like I said, there's grown-ups that can't figure out why they do it.
Yes, it's true. What could I, if I may, Marley? What makes you shut down the most in conversation or maybe dealing with peers? Like, if you know.
Whenever somebody mentions someone that I just don't talk to anymore, it just kind of not necessarily infuriates me. It's just it makes me react really fast, and then I go quiet.
Okay.
Your heart is so big, and I'm assuming that you really mean well with everything that you do and say. In that, I think that sometimes, and this is just my opinion, I'm not you to speak for you, but I think sometimes when when something makes you feel some type of way, you kind of feel almost like that wasn't your intention, and because that wasn't your intention, that's why you shut down. It's like a guard, almost like a safety mechanism to protect yourself. I know that's how I used to be. Does that sound relatable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I was too. I used to do the same. How about you, Moon Tortoise? Did you feel that you used to shut down sometimes to protect yourself, especially if that wasn't your intention?
With people close to me, I've noticed with strangers, I can be even aggressive, like sometimes, and not aggressive, but over the top, super myself. I find I shut down most with people I'm really close to because that was a myriad of reasons why. I suppose maybe we just don't see eye to eye on something, or it's just the situation's not striking, or I care more about that. I guess I really like talking to other people. I guess what shuts me down with other people is, I guess I could say this: people using a lot of drugs or alcohol around me. If they're not in their right frame of mind, I cannot even deal with that at all anymore. And that's just a big thing for me.
So grandson, when you're hurt, angry, sad, or confused, what helps you feel better?
Anytime I try and get my mind off it, I just kind of chill, sit in my bed, probably listen to music most of the time, or I just try and distract myself by like playing something or talking to someone.
How long before do you replay a situation that didn't go the way that you wanted to? Do you constantly replay that in your head? And how long?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. And then how long before you actually embrace that? Before you sit and really are able to confront it and speak on it? Is that hard to do?
If it's something really bad, and if I have to, take at least a while to like readjust to it, it'll take me at most a day to try and confront what happened.
Okay. Is it harder with strangers than it is with someone that you love? Or is it harder with someone you love than it is with a stranger?
It's more so harder with people that I know, because I don't know what happens whenever it's somebody I know. It's just, if a stranger does it, then it doesn't really do much. It's just, I don't know. I get a lot more emotional with somebody.
I feel that. That's so relatable. Is that not relatable toward us? Yeah.
It is. Strangers, they have the potential to become our friends and or enemies or completely neutral in the world, but it's the people we actually care about who we're social animals. So of course we don't care about what people think, but you don't want to piss your mom off. It's just kind of everything's wrong. I guess that's not really a swear word anymore. I like that. And Marley, don't worry about it. There is stuff from third grade, second and third grade, I still really haven't come to terms with. Like, I don't understand why I passed that note. The note was meant for me. It was super embarrassing for everybody. And yeah, I still haven't been able to even grapple with that. So you carry some things into adulthood, but it's okay. They're learning experiences.
You know what helped me? And this may not work for everyone, but what helped me really realize the difference between someone I care about and then a stranger is the fact of that if my intention wasn't to harm them or to make them upset, I have to leave it as it is. Because me sitting there worrying about it and dwelling on it and trying to make it right always made it worse. Because then I would say things that I didn't mean. And I will say, I try to make the situation better. And when you keep trying, somehow it ends up worse because you're overly doing it. I think I think you got to figure it out when you sit there and think of it first and allow it to have that pause. Honestly, I believe that that's a good thing to hold on to. And, removing the expectation that you have on yourself makes a huge difference because I wanted to be so much better than I was. I didn't really want to make people upset or hurt people's feelings and and I wanted to do it so perfect. And once I removed the ideal of that, what I wanted and just allowed it to be what it was, I realized it wasn't as bad as I made it seem like in my head. Does that make sense to you? Grandson, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what can adults do to make young people feel safe enough to talk honestly with them? That's for you, grandson.
Oh, I would say, I don't know if I can't really say this for all children. It could be different depending on, what goes on. But for me, it would be, after it happens, just give me a second to like cool down to try and process what happened. Then about 5 to 10 minutes later, try and see if I'm cooled down enough to talk about it.
What I've learned with you is the fact that I was around you. You have to have your moment. You have to have that moment to sit with it, because you usually will bring it back up again if it really is bothering you later once you're calmer. You have to be able to have that moment, because if not, then it feels like it's being stripped from you and forced. And that actually makes you more upset and more quiet. And I think that you're not the only person that's like that. Like, I know a lot of people that need that moment. How about you, Moon Tortoise? You know people that just need that moment?
What exact moment?
To quiet down and let them think about what happened, and then give them their space for a second so that they can process.
Okay, I was just confirming that. Yeah, I think that kind of falls in line with how I react to and treat young people, which is I don't treat kids like I talk to kids as much on my level as I can, no matter how old they were. I found most adults were very condescending to me when I was little. I wasn't always crying wolf about everything. I felt like I understood a lot of the way the natural world operated, and reading and stuff kept me invested. And I really felt I got a lack of education, and adults were very condescending to me. So all I can do as an adult when I talk to young people is to put you all completely on my level. I won't even sit here and call you kid. I found that completely disrespectful because I was young and I didn't know exactly everything that was going on. It wasn't my fault. I was learning. I had bad examples. So all we can do is teach through example and be a good example. And just be open, honest, listen to them. We need that closure. And yeah, leave them alone if that's what it entails to, because I need to be left alone when I'm really upset. I need to think.
I think adults don't give kids the space in the equalness of being their own person. I think they try to, and this is just my opinion because I can't speak on all adults, but I think they really try to make their life the way that they want the children's life to be within their view of what happened to them, replaying their life, or what they missed out they want to let their children have. So I think they really, oh no, he don't like that, without really allowing him to say he don't like that. Oh no, they're not going to be interested, without really letting them say they're not going to be interested. I think adults are making so many decisions for young people that they don't even give them a chance to realize that this is their life. I appreciate the fact that I've never treated grandson as if he was beneath me. That's been my partner, and that's what I told him. We've been partners ever since he was little, and he's still gonna be my partner no matter what. I can't make him feel any type of way because I'm older. That's not fair.
I like that. I was gonna ask Marla, do you feel respected by most of your peers? You probably do in your house. I would hope so. I don't know, but do you feel respected like that?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Good. It's good. I hope they're listening to kids more now.
Do you feel that people talk down on you because you're younger and they think that you don't know what's going on?
Really, no.
No, Listen, he was the type of individual that we would take with him when we go pay the cable bill, and he would get the bill lower because he would talk to them about how the system ran. And he got like $30 off of someone's bill before because he just had a whole conversation with the higher ups and stuff. Like, he was doing taxes that too.
Good job. I know a lot of adults who might need your help. You get some big money for
Not literally, but yes. But no, I don't think he's ever been, not that I can see, because I'm not with him all the time, but when I do see, I think he gets respected for the fact that he has opinion. Do you feel that you get respected for your opinion?
Yeah.
So What do adults sometimes do that make young people not want to tell them what's going on? Grandson.
Could you say that again, please?
What do adults sometimes do that makes young people not want to tell them what's going on?
Whenever I'm talking to someone, if they try and ask a question and then I go to explain or I give an answer and they say, but this happened, it just kind of makes me quiet down and just stare at them. I don't even mean to stare at them meanly. It's just it it makes me feel like they're trying to push me to do something I wouldn't want to do. So it makes me quiet down and tell them a lot less of what happened.
I get that. I get that. Safety's huge. And if you don't feel like you're able to voice your opinion in a safe environment, why would you want to speak? I can receive that. I get that completely. Can
Okay.
you still? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Marley a question real quick. I haven't seen you in forever. We haven't done this segment in forever. If you don't mind answering that, what made you want to do the podcast again tonight?
I don't quite know. I just haven't really, done it in a while, and I thought, I quite enjoyed when we did it. So, and now I have a lot more people to, ask if they want to come on. So,
Cool.
I thought.
What made you say the act of healing? What made you come up with that?
Well, when you asked me what topic we should do, I just kind of started thinking of things that I could explain well without, having to pass up too many questions. And so I thought, the act of healing, I can speak on that. I know enough about that to not have to pass up any question.
Have you ever seen somebody or loved somebody that's no longer with us, that's passed away? You've lost somebody before?
Yeah. Yeah, there's one that I've lost. And yeah, I still talk to the air as if they're there.
So what happened? Like, now don't tell me the experience of what happened. Like, how did it make you feel?
When they were gone?
Yeah, that you lost them.
Well, I didn't know that they were gone for 3 days after it happened. Because it wasn't necessarily a person, it was more of an old animal I used to have. But we didn't know that they were gone until 3 days later. So I was very shocked at it. I guess I kind of isolated myself from a lot of people during the time.
How does a loss feel? Is there an emptiness?
It's like yearning for something, it's like, have you ever had the feeling where like you want something, but it's like it's just out of reach? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot like that. Yeah.
I remember mourning over. You don't remember the dog, that little white poodle that you grew up with, Toby. You don't really remember a whole bunch of Toby. I remember mourning the passing of Toby. When my biological mom passed, I really didn't cry at all. But when the dog passed, I longed for that more. And that maybe because the dog was my emotional safety. It was my time when I felt sad and depressed. I could give the dog a hug and feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like that? Like you missed that presence of that the thing that knew you?
That safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
I did for a while, but eventually I just kind of stopped trying to bring up the fact because then I stopped getting too emotional about it once I stopped bringing it up. So I try to avoid it.
I'm not gonna say I know exactly what you're talking about though, and I'm not gonna speak on it. But yeah, no, I get it because it's hard when you look at certain things for comfort and then they're no longer there. So I get it. Can you still love or care about someone and decide that you need space from them?
Yeah, I've done that a few times. Yeah.
I already know. Me too. How about you, Moon Tortoise? Have you done that?
Yeah, I was chuckling at that comment. I was
Me too.
chuckling at that. Do you need space? I need space from the people I love the most. Honestly, I'm a terrible person to ask about this because I'm a loner. I really love people, and people love me. But I flourish while I'm by myself, and it's a bridge. I have to bridge the gap between just existing with myself, which I'm happy to do, and coexisting with others. And honestly, it's always a problem for me. That is a me problem, I suppose. Um, that doesn't mean I can't share great, fun memories and times with people. I usually need about an hour in the morning with coffee, and I need everybody to. I just need to be alone with nature and music.
Yeah,
And
if
it was hard.
if I lived in a perfect world, I wouldn't want nobody to talk to me until after 11 o'clock.
It's hard. It puts a strain on any kind of interpersonal relationships with people, but it can. You just have to learn. That's called boundaries.
Are you a morning person, grandson?
I'm more of a night person. If you ever see me at night, I'm probably just sitting on my bed doing absolutely nothing because at night I'm more, I really do not want to be interacting with people right now. So I just kind of chill out, try and find something to do until I can get myself to fall asleep. But I ain't doing nothing until like 12.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing until noon.
I feel that. Me
So,
too.
yeah.
I don't want nobody to talk to me. I really just want people to shut the hell up and leave me alone until after I'm able to realize, yep, I'm awake.
But here's something to add to that though.
Yep.
Does that mean you're not a morning person? If you like being alone in the morning, because I would consider myself a morning person. I'm very productive in the morning, but I have to be alone.
I'm not a
Yeah.
morning person because I don't want no one talking to me. I'm productive in the morning. I want to do things in the morning, but I don't want no one conversating with me. There's too much noise. Just why do you have to involve me first thing in the morning?
I don't know what it is, but like I get really mad at someone if they try and get me to like go out and do something with them before at least 1 p.m. Because then I'm like, dude, you gotta wait.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I'll take the dog out. I love taking the dog out because nobody's really awake right then and there. But anybody that trying to talk to me and try to involve me into their madness, please leave me alone.
Shenanigan free zone.
Yes. If
Yep.
you could teach adults one thing about helping young people heal, what would you want us to understand? It's always you, grandson.
Oh, just if they ever try and explain something, or if you try and like say something about a topic you think you know, and they try and say, "Hey, can I explain something?" Most people I know, like most adults, if they're really trying to like prove a point and they end up being wrong, they'll be like, "Hold on," because they know that's wrong. But you gotta like give them a second to explain why that's wrong. That way you can understand why they're, asking that.
So, what do you want to give adults advice to do one thing? You want them to better explain themselves?
I would say try and ask the kids you're talking to if it's something if it's a topic you know of, just I would say, try and ask them if they can explain why they think that. That way you can like better understand what they're thinking.
Okay. I can receive that. I get that. Do you feel that a lot of people around your age heal the same way? Not feel the same way, heal the same way.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people I know, they take a moment, they decompress, and then they're, back at it again. So I would say yeah.
How many chances do you give somebody before you cut them off completely?
Uh until they start doing it to like other people I know, that's when I cut them off. Unless if they're being like physical, that I try and give them a second chance. At most I've given somebody 4, and we've worked it out. We're still friends. We worked
Okay.
it out. But it's just at that point where if you're gonna do it to multiple people that I know, then I gotta, cut you off.
Because then it becomes a pattern.
Yep.
Okay. I can receive that too.
Public
Do you feel that-
safety issue.
Do you feel that you're easygoing?
Could you explain what that means, please?
Do you feel that you don't demand a lot. You don't demand a lot of attention. You don't demand a lot of anything. Like people can be them, and it doesn't really affect you. You appreciate them just for being them.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the most difficult moment that you've had so far in life that was really just hard for you to accept, and you were just like, and I'm not talking about personal like parents or anything. I'm just saying in general, like as a youth that you've dealt with people.
Trying to get over somebody. We're still friends. It's just we used to do a whole bunch until, we stepped it down a bit, and it's still, taking me a bit to adjust to that. So I'm still kind of like in that mindset of, what we used to do. So
Yeah. What was the hardest lesson for you so far in life?
hardest lesson, uh, probably to make sure you feel safe enough to talk before you talk. Like, make sure you can react rationally, because then it creates fear of, saying something that you don't really want to say or mean to say.
I love that for you. I love that for you. That's a hard pill. A lot of people can't do that, and I love that for you. That you really are working on that.
Yeah. Good job. A lot of these things and problems that you face, they're not specific to your age. Actually, adults go through the same thing, same kind of stuff, except I don't know. You got a bank account now, or something. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it really these problems. You're just learning these. That's the biggest thing I learned in school was just interacting with people, I suppose. And that's not saying you shouldn't study your textbooks or whatever, but it's there to build communication skills. And you're good at them. Good job.
There's going to be moments in life that a situation is going to happen, and it's going to hit you hard, and you're not going to be prepared for it. Just have that pause moment to regulate yourself, because that's the only thing you can control. You're going to lose people that mean something to you. You're going to have people hurt you that you really loved at one time. Having that self-control in that moment to be able to regulate yourself, that's such a powerful tool.
Okay.
Do you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Having that moment to regulate yourself is a very powerful tool. Continue utilizing that, please, because that you're going to go a lot further in life if you're able to do that.
I tried. Yeah, I tried to. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, life's just started for you. Even though you've been here for a long time, I mean, you still got a whole bunch of life to live yet. And adults aren't going to get it. And you're going to see it before an adult does. Be patient with them because they're trying to figure it out too.
Yep.
Do you have anything to say, Moon Tortoise?
In regards to that, my parents didn't have a clue what was going on.
Neither did mine.
And I lost both of them recently. Well, my mom in 2012, my dad in October here. And it's weird because, I thought they had it all together when they were buying the action figures at the store. I didn't realize what kind of sacrifices were being made. What my mom was going through on her own mental stuff. What my dad was going through dealing with that. They were my age, basically, right now, a couple of years ago, when they decided to go and have me and Joe. And boy, I don't know I find this world very confusing still. I'm good at what I'm good at, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that completely escapes me. So, grief is powerful. Having alone time to process that's good. I don't know. It's probably way too much. It made me think of that.
I asked my dad, grandson, I asked my dad if he loved himself. He said kinda. And I asked him, what did he mean by kinda? And he said, it's hard for him to forgive the things that he can't change. And I said, well, that may be true, but at the end of the day, none of those people that you did things to that you can't change are holding that against you. You are beating yourself up over it. They're still loving you. That's that expectation that we hold ourselves to, that we want to be better than what we really are. Because at the end of the day, we don't have it figured out. We're just doing the best we can with what the tools we have. We're all learning. We're all children still, just a little older. And now we have bills. Doesn't make us any smarter.
You're always going to be a child in someone's eyes.
Facts.
Whether alive or not, you're always a child to someone.
That's right. So now that I speak to him, I ask him, does he love himself? He says yes. But it took a long time for me to get him to convince him that he's got to love himself. He's got to, because nobody else can if you don't. You've taught me so many lessons as a young person, so many lessons. One of the smartest thing you ever said to me, well, I can't say one of, you've said many. You've said to me one time, it's not about what you know, it's about how much you can convince somebody else that you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I tell that to people all the time now because you said that. I share it with the whole world because it makes so much sense. Politicians do it every day. It makes so much sense.
That's quite a profound statement.
Do they not do it every day?
I'm not talking politics on the kids show. We don't do that here. But I will say, your understanding of this is, probably have a very good future in. Yeah, just start watching trial lawyers, Marley. Just do it. Just you switch your clips up in your algorithm because you're on the internet, I'm sure, and just Start listening to smart people with sharp tongues talk about things that are important.
Debate.
And like a
You're
talk.
listening to somebody who does debate.
That'll work. Debate will work.
Heck yeah.
You do need to be a part of a debate club. I think you'd be great at it.
I did a little bit of debate.
Yeah,
Somebody was on TikTok live doing a debate. I did a little bit of it.
How'd
I
that
was able
feel?
to convince. I was able to convince at least 13 people while I was up there with them that I was right. So I'll still take it.
Yeah, I take it too.
You monster. I love it. No, I only said it because I know you. Debate teams and stuff, they're going to be really good for you.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Yeah.
For sure it is. So, also one time I asked you if you loved you. If you loved yourself, and you had to remind me of who you were. Like, it's your life, it's your body, it's your skin. Of course you love you. And I was just like making sure, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. They hold themselves to such high standards, and they don't realize that nobody's perfect. And they beat themselves up over something that they have no business even remembering, let alone beating themselves up over it. And I'm so grateful that you're not like that. So, what is your purpose in life?
I'd say, make the world see just the trueness of what could be if you just accepted it as it is.
Authenticity. I love that. I love that. Never let no one change you from that. Stay true to that. That's beautiful. So, we're going to get into the deeper, we're going to get into the reflection real quick, and then we're going to ask the positive stuff so you can get ready for tomorrow's big day. Do you have a date?
What?
For homecoming, do you have a date?
No, it's not prom. It's they call it homecoming now. Okay. No, they call it homecoming. Like when you meet your teachers and all that before school starts.
Oh, okay, like that.
Yeah, they call it. Yeah, that's what they call it now.
Okay, I was confused. I really thought it was homecoming, like
I've had one before though.
Like the games, like the game and the dance and stuff.
Yeah, no, I've had one before though.
A date for homecoming?
Not for homecoming, but.
Oh, you've had a date. How'd they go?
It lasted a while.
Okay.
And then, we took a little bit to, cool down. Then we got back together.
Okay.
And that lasted about a month.
Story of your life, I promise you. That will be the story of your life. So let's get into the deeper meaning, or the reflection I meant. Go ahead, Moon Tortoise.
Let me pull myself back to reality here. Don't worry. I have to open.
I reminds me of that one Eminem song.
What song is that?
You know how you said you have to bring yourself back to reality? That reminds me of one of Eminem's songs where, and his lyrics goes, "Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity."
I've never heard that one.
Yes, you have.
No, perhaps is it Wonderwall? No, I'm sorry. See, I treat everybody like this. And speaking of that, that's good. That's good. That's actually a very good song. Reflection. Let's reflect on everything. Healing doesn't always mean forgetting what happened. Sometimes healing is understanding that what happened doesn't have to control what happens next. And healing isn't always something another person can do for you. People can support you, they can listen, they can encourage you, they can help you find the tools that you need. Yet part of the healing is discovering what helps you move forward. Young people experience real emotions. Their pain doesn't become less important because they're younger, and their problems don't become small simply because an adult has experienced something they consider bigger. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is stop trying to immediately fix everything and simply listen. Let's ask the questions, give them the time to answer, and when they finally speak, hear them. Maybe that's where the act of healing truly begins.
Yes, I love that. All right, before we close, and then we're going to do positive message. Before we close, tonight, I want to invite everyone to join us tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 18th at 8 p.m. on the People's Podcast. We're sitting down with what's his name? Keith McHenry, co-founder of Food Not Bombs. We'll be talking about his journey, his work, and the experience behind a movement that has spent decades bringing attention to hunger, poverty, community, and the belief that people deserve access to food. Tonight, we're giving our young people the space to speak. Tomorrow night, we continue making room for conversation and perspective that deserves to be heard. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our conversation with Keith McHenry.
I can't forget it.
So let's do it. He's an author and everything, and an activist, and he's been to jail for feeding people a few times. So let's do the positive message. What would be your positive message, Moon Tortoise?
My positive message. Well, I got a bunch of them, I suppose, but I'll try to narrow it down. Yeah, problems. Like I said earlier, the problems that you have right now, they don't really disappear. They evolve and they keep going because such is life. And I think the emotional intelligence that you have and that you want to reflect on other people is crucial in developing into emotionally stable adults. I think you're well on your way there. And if you're not being listened to and you're listening unto us, yeah, there's always a place where you can hear it. I'm glad we did this tonight. It was awesome. And I value and love to hear your opinion.
Yes. My positive message is it came and went. I had it and it left. Listen to hear, not to respond. Remove yourself from yourself and just put yourself into their shoes and give them a safe space to be heard. What's your positive message, grandson?
Don't let anyone change who you think you are, whether it's a dream or a feeling. Don't let anyone else say otherwise, because that's your opinion. So you should follow whatever you think is right for you.
Oh, I love that for you. I love that. You're extremely intelligent, and you come on any show, I swear. Even if you feel like you don't have much to offer, the little that you do is very insightful, and this world needs to hear it. So, you're welcome. So, thank you everyone who joined tonight, and for the act of healing. And to every young person who shared their thoughts tonight, and those that want to share their thoughts, please join us. Thank you for trusting us enough to use your voices. Adults don't always have the answers. Sometimes we need to stop talking long enough to hear what our children have been trying to tell us. Your age doesn't determine the value of your voice. Your feeling matters, your experience matters, your perspective matters, your story matters. And that's why we created Let the Children Speak. Continue the conversation with us at unseentwistedtruth.com. We're building a community where people can bring their stories, their voices, their perspectives, and their opinions to the conversations. We're the ears that will listen, and where your opinion matters, and so does your story, because you matter. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations filled with peace and love, everyone. Until next time. Okay. Grandson, you want a spot in the magazine, like a corner area where you can discuss whatever you want?
No.
You don't know? All right. Well, let me know if you do. Okay. All right. Have a good night and enjoy tomorrow's homecoming. Peace and love, everyone.
Bye bye.